Hello, in this tutorial I will demonstrate how to edit a label template, explaining how to make use of the tools on the left of the editor screen to make any changes you may need. The first step is to decide if you need to remove any of the existing fields. To do this, click on the field to highlight it, and then click the X in the top right corner to delete it. I'll now show you what you can do to the remaining fields on the label. From the Edit tab, we can access the position, size and rotation options. You can then choose to rotate a field both clockwise and anti-clockwise, or use the alignment buttons to align the field either vertically, horizontally or centrally. Within the Edit tab, you can further tailor the way your label will look by going into the font and text options. In font options, you can make changes to each of the fields on the label. You can choose the font that you want in the drop-down. You can either choose from the full list of Google fonts, or if Show Available Fonts is unchecked, you can choose from a shorter list containing the top 25 Google fonts. You then have the choice of choosing the font size. You can either use the drop-down to choose a standard font size, where you can check Enable Fine-Grained Font Sizes to increase the font size by 1 point size at a time. You can then use the Pick Color button to change the color of the text from the standard black. You click the color you want at the bottom, and then select the actual shade you want to use from the color palette. Automatically Shrink to Fit is selected by default. If you uncheck this, and the number of characters in the field is too great to achieve your specified font size, you will see a warning at print time. You will then need to consider whether you need to enforce a minimum font size. Legislation may dictate that there is a minimum font size you must adhere to. Setting that here will ensure that you will get a warning appear prior to printing the label if this criteria cannot be met, thus giving you the chance to amend either your template or the information in the field in question. After deciding on the font options, you can then look into how the text is presented in the fields by clicking Text Options on the drop-down menu. After clicking to select a field on the label, you could choose to check the options for Force Onto Single Line if you want all the text in the field displayed across just one line. By default, the text is centralized both horizontally and vertically, but you can use the option buttons to instead align it to the left or right of the field, as well as the top or bottom. There is also the option to set a background color within a field. To do this, check the option for Enable Fill Color and then choose from the color palette. And finally, within text options, there is the option to add a printed border to a field. Simply choose your field, check Enable Border, and then set the border thickness. There is a tab on the left for adding a health mark to the label. When you select this tab, it will list any health marks that you've created. Clicking Select on a health mark will add it to the template, and then you will need to resize it to fit the available space. You can also add images to your label. On the left there is a tab called Add Fixed Image. Click here and you will see a list of images that have been preloaded by Planglow. They include an extensive range of allergen warnings, as well as other commonly used images such as the Litterman and the vegan symbol. When you find the image you want, just click Add, and then resize the image to fit the available space on the template. You can also add your own images to LabelLogic Live. This is particularly useful if you want to add your company logo to the template. You just need to go to the top of the list and select Upload New Image. You may want to add a fixed text to your template. This can be done by selecting the Add Text tab on the left. You can add from a list of commonly used messages such as Eat on Day of Purchase or Keep Refrigerated. Or alternatively, You can create your own fixed text options by clicking the Create Fixed Text button and then typing in your message. After you've saved your message, you can then add it to the label. You'll then need to resize the field and drop it into place before making any last-minute adjustments to the template and saving it. When you come to save the template, there are several options. In the top right corner, you will see a row of icons on a blue background. First, there is the option to rename the template. You then have the Save button to save your changes to this template. There is also the Save As button, which enables you to save the changes, but still retain the original template. Although, if you use this, you will then need to remember to choose the new template in your print list. There is a Delete button if you wish to remove the template. And there is an Open button, which will take you back to the label selection screen without saving any of your changes.